Sim racers, this video is not for you. Unfortunately, you have to go now. No, just kidding. I'm happy if you would stay because we're checking Project Motor Racing with Gamepad, with controller today. An impression here for everyone who's waiting desperately for the PS5 and Xbox version. So we're still in the preview, work in progress build. If you've seen our preview, many people were asking for this. How does it feel here with the Gamepad? So let's jump in. Welcome back to Overtake, I'm Michel and we're starting here with the Xbox controller. Many people asked about camera perspectives and I wanted to give you that first. So we have Cockpit, we have this roof cam, front bumper cam or hood cam kind of, and the third person. That's it pretty much. Some people were also wondering about my PC configuration / graphic settings, so we can also quickly dive into that. It's all pretty much maxed out in a way. I have a 4080 Super with an AMD 5800X3D, and I only turned off motion blur and depth of field because I don't think that this looks good. This is kind of a sweet spot for the draw distance. I can also get it to 200, and the rest is pretty much... the volumetric fog could be a bit higher, but I don't think that makes a massive difference. Some options go to very high, some go to ultra, and the texture filtering also goes to 16, so this is different options that you have as well here. Anisotropic filtering, and here we also have DLSS, and I'm using the DLAA post-processing here right now. For controller options, if we go to the settings, you can basically operate all the menus, it's plug and play. You plug the controller in and you can operate all the menus. There's a preset, obviously, also for the different button layouts of Xbox and PlayStation here on my PC version. And then you can also go to the input device settings. You can change a lot here, like dead zones, sensitivity, also the rumble effects probably. So far, only my Xbox controller had rumble, but also not the adaptive triggers, only like a basic rumble effect. I asked Straight4 about this, how it will be handled on the consoles, if they support the full DualShock on PS5, if they have some nice effects going on also for the triggers when you, for example, launch the car and your tires have slip angle and stuff, then for example in Forza Motorsport you get this nice rumble in your throttle pedal here on R2 kind of, or RT here on Xbox. Control bindings also interesting. Like here you can see the controller, my similar pedal is still attached here, so you can also use a controller parallel with your sim racing gear, it seems. So here it is, and you can also freely map the buttons, at least on PC. Not sure if this will be the same menu on consoles. Can't guarantee that. I, for example, already changed the gearing up. This is the brake in that case. Yeah, you can change everything, and you can also map functions that are not pre-mapped, kind of. Like I mapped, for example, the pit limiter control because I just prefer to operate that manually. And most of the other car functions you can operate via this little DigiDash, it's called in Project Motor Racing, where you can go between the different pages. So this is the pages right now. So here you can change, for example, brake bias on the fly and also TC and ABS and stuff. So you can operate that just with your D-pad here. So that works as well. So let's do something. Let's hot swap between the Xbox controller and the PS5 DualShock. It just worked immediately. And I also changed control bindings on my DualShock before. Let's see if it also saved that now. Gear up and gear down. Oh yeah, indeed. Because this was also a bit different and I'm more used to that. So that's good. It kept basically the setting for that as well. So steering is like the longer you press your left stick, the more it steers and the slower the car is. That's kind of how it works. So I'm by no means a controller driving expert. For the last couple of years I've been mostly driving with steering wheels, so bear with me if my driving is not the, as we say in Germany, the yellow from the egg. But let's see. Our Lamborghini Huracan GT3. Let's see how the game's appeal is in the third person cam. It's pretty drivable. Yeah. Shifting down here. And if I press R3, I can look back this way. Strangely, it doesn't look back on the car. Like, I would expect this to be the look back in third person, right?
5 minutes remaining.
That's how we kind of used to it. But it's no matter in which perspective you are looking back, it's like a NASCAR 25 basically. Then was also a little negative critique that I had. That I don't really like this style of looking back. So I want in Cockpit, I want to look through my car basically, for the interior of the car. And in third person, I would prefer to also have my own car in vision, kind of. Okay, I wonder how the Hypercar will be with the Gamepad, because I already had some problems controlling it properly with the steering wheel. So let's see, maybe on Sebring. And then also quickly showing you the assists that the game offers. So we have the racing line. We can try the racing line. Traction control, we have authentic. ABS also authentic. Auto clutch, you can have also an authentic and force on. Same for auto cut. Auto blip, trailing throttle. Not quite sure what trailing throttle is. Maybe I'm missing something here. If you guys know, let me know. Otherwise we have to ask about that. Auto blip as well, and downshift protection you can also force on or have authentic, so maybe you can blow up the motor, I don't know. Transmission, we have it manual, and yeah, this is the pit limiter. People also asked about camera settings, and this is quite handy here in Project Motor Racing. So basically everywhere, like in the main menu, also in this menu, you can access this camera menu, and this has steer lock, speed sensitive shake, G-force sensitive movement, and horizontal lock. So here also seat position, you can freely move the camera to a certain extent to have the perfect view for you. Also this, I like this, like left and right adjustment, very important, because you really want to have that in the middle of your screen where you are sitting, and also higher and lower, also the tilt angle where the driver is looking towards, and also the FOV slider here. So it goes from, I believe, 100, yeah, it's a 100% slider. So quite some adjustment. I guess the FOV calculators will also include Project Motor Racing then very soon. So from 25 to 100, you can adjust it to your distance, to your screen size, whatever you prefer. This is also interesting, like many cars also have the center mirror pitch and yaw setting here. This car doesn't, even though it has a center screen, center mirror. So that's a bit of a difference for each car, what kind of mirrors it has. But yeah, quite good to see that this is also possible here. Okay. Okay, let's see. Yeah, tricky. Probably a bit easier if you have some more haptic rumble feedback. So this is the ideal line, by the way, now seeing it here for the first time. That was a weird catch. The braking point a little bit late. Yeah, not easy, but also not impossible, I would say. Very twitchy. Yeah, braking. Okay, yeah, very weird snappy moment here. Yeah, driving something more old school and tricky. Let's see how this Porsche will handle. We can also quickly change the weather here, having it maybe a little bit towards the evening, like 6 p.m. Let's see how that works. And then we go to Derby, which is basically Donington, I believe. And we can also make it autumn, just for the vibes. So I still have to run this identical class thing, because in the next couple of days and weeks they will announce a lot more cars in the classes that you see here. And they are already in the game, kind of. So I can't show you the full class yet, unfortunately. But let's see how this Porsche will feel like. Yeah, and here we have the evidence that the steering angle is speed sensitive. So the slower you go, the more steering angle and the quicker steering the game allows you with the stick here. So you can see just the minimal movement already gives a lot of rotation here in the steering wheel. And it also has an animation that goes 900 degrees. Let's see how that changes when we pick up some speed. Do we have a limiter? Yeah. Oh, this car is pretty quick. Speed limit. Yeah, you can see this is the maximum steering angle now. With 90 kph already, it limits my steering angle quite a bit. But if you like know what you're doing, you get the hang of it. Yeah, it kind of works. It's for me a bit hard to get these like tight turns where you have to be super precise, especially in such a car that is so quick. But it's certainly something that you... Okay, yeah, too early on the throttle here, so lost the rear end. Still not easy to drive. Yeah, you have to be careful still about locking your tires, because obviously the car wouldn't steer if you have a locking front right or front left tire, so just trying to be a bit more sensitive now and breaking into that corner. But also probably one of the most difficult to drive cars, but yet with a controller quite controllable. Like you can step on throttle quite early. The most difficult part is really the braking. You get some visual damage already. And you can see like it locks even all 4 tires when hitting the brake fully. Okay, I hope this was somewhat helpful, this little controller impression here. For my taste, they don't do it super different from all the other racing sims or racing games that apply a controller handling to a game that is more like wheel and simulation driven. So this game, for me personally, will be way more fun with a steering wheel, but I can also see that many people just enjoy sitting on the couch playing with a controller. And yeah, if you are an experienced controller player, because the game also with controller is still quite hard to control, I would say, you need a bit of practice. It can be frustrating, but slower cars like the Mazda MX-5, I had a really easy time to get going with. I think this is just part of the learning curve. And yeah, let me know if this like application of a steering layer based on the car's speed, if that's something that is normal to you, or if you found that to be a little bit weird. Yeah, also check out overtake.gg, our premium offer that we have there, super interesting. You will see a little clip for that now. And otherwise, yeah, make sure that you have watched our big preview here of Project Motor Racing. Thumbs up, subscribe. Do not forget to also hit that bell to get notified about new uploads, and then see you next time. Bye bye.
You can become a premium member on our website, overtake.gg. Premium members enjoy extra benefits such as an ad-free browsing experience, special community deals, discounts, and Overtake Turbo, which provides setups, coaching, and 1 free esports setup per month. And if you love unboxing sim racing gear just as we do, there's a premium member giveaway every month. Another cool feature are community reviews, so you can have a chance to contribute and share your opinion on not yet released hardware or games. Join as a premium member on overtake.gg for just €1 a month.